Last week, my dear brothers and sisters, was a turning point in the history of the United States, where I believe it was a very disappointing moment in our history as Americans. When the United States Supreme Court declared that they acknowledge same-sex marriage in the entire 50 US states. Already some states had legalized same-sex marriage, some 34 or 36 states. With this new announcement, unfortunately, the same-sex marriage has been legalized in the entire United States. And I truly believe that this is a very sad moment in our history. For thousands of years, the institution of marriage was considered a union between a man and a woman. Not only in our religion, Islam, but in all other religions, in Christianity, in Judaism, in all other civilizations and cultures. The sacred union, marriage union, is between a man and a woman. Unfortunately, due to the lobbying of homosexual groups, the United States had to succumb to their pressure and come to a point in which, instead of telling Americans that homosexuality is a form of disorder, they are telling Americans that there is nothing wrong with homosexuality, and yet the law decided to legalize this marriage, this union, and give it some kind of sanction. My dear brothers and sisters, we read in the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about specific people of the two villages, Amora and Sadum, known in the Quran as Qawm Lut, people of Lut. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned the humanity of a similar fate if they followed the footsteps of these people who have been cursed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala severely for defying Allah and for defying the rule of fitrah, the natural, innate of a human being. My dear brothers and sisters, this is not a moment that we as Americans should be proud of our history. This is a moment that Americans would look back at with so much regret and sorrow, that we are legalizing something that is abnormal, something that is against the human nature, something that has been prohibited by all religions and by all messages of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to spread the awareness, my dear brothers and sisters, that this is a red line that this society is crossing, unfortunately. We need to spread awareness that this is not something that we Muslims only advocate. All normal people, all people who believe in God and hereafter would take the same stand as opposing this declaration, this announcement, opposing this kind of legislation in which what is deemed as haram, as a big sin, unfortunately is being practiced as a normal tradition or practice in this country.